Hello and welcome to Ignore the Noise and Move Forward by Anne Emanuel. For years I found myself rereading my life stories and only recently realized how my life experiences and the people I've met along the way changed my life. All of my stories are short, and at the end of every blog story, I give you ideas on how you can begin writing your life stories.
The wolf. Several years ago, we had a stockade fence around our pool area. I love the porch in the pool area, and we have Adirondack chairs out there. It's very peaceful and calming. My habit was to go out at 5 a.m. and sit and drink coffee. One morning, just before 6 a.m., something told me to go look in the backyard. It was a very quiet morning. There was a nagging for more than a few minutes. A clear message to get up, walk outside the fence, and look into the backyard. Actually, the message was more like, go look in the backyard. So I did, very hesitantly. In the back, standing along the grapevine, was a large dog at first glance. However, the size of the animal was the size of a large German Shepherd. I based that on how high the dog was standing next to the grapevines. The animal's stance was one of authority. His body was heading west. His head was turned at a 45-degree angle, just staring at me. No movement. He seemed to be in charge, commanding. Why was I told to get up, walk outside the fenced-in area, and look in the backyard? We never have dogs in our yard. I always wish they would show up. I love dogs. I realized this was not a domestic dog. It was far too serious. You could see that in the strength and the power in his stance. I questioned, what was this all about? We hear stuff like this. What's the message? It was something, but what? So I searched for people who have had those types of experiences. What does it mean? Does it mean I have more power than I believe? The look of strength was so prevalent. While I was surprised, actually shocked, to see this, and would have never seen it if I hadn't walked outside the pool area, the fence blocked the view of the backyard. I considered the experience special. While I was concerned, initially I wasn't afraid. I was shocked. But I knew it would only take him seconds to reach where I was standing, and probably longer for me to get back into the garage. I left first. Fear. I searched for wolf sightings in the area. Nothing. I was told there were no wolves in this area. I must have seen a coyote. I know what coyotes look like. And this was a wolf, or a wolf dog, or a hybrid coy wolf. Whatever, it did not appear to be domestic. The real question I have is, who told me to walk outside the fence and look in the backyard early that morning? How is it that that animal showed up at the same time that I was told to go look in the backyard? There are many great stories about animals saving human lives. One that comes to mind is the story of an old dog, blind and deaf. A child, upriver, drifted into the current and was taken downriver. Unfortunately, the family was unable to rescue the child. You can imagine the horrible scene. Downriver, the family of an old dog, from memory I believe the dog was a lab, said their dog was lying in the backyard and suddenly got up and ran to the river. It had been some time since they had seen the dog run. They had no idea what was going on. The family watched the lab jump into the water as the child drifted downriver, grabbed the child, and brought the child to the side of the river, saving the child. So many questions. How did the dog know the child was in the river? No one heard screams or anyone yelling. The dog was deaf and blind. Even if he could see, he could not see upriver because he was at the back of the house. At some point, you realize all of this is much bigger than we are. And the beautiful part is the life experiences we can't explain. So we are grateful for the experiences.
The purpose of my stories is to encourage you to write about your life, and you will be amazed at your personal growth. You know how when you're talking with someone and they're telling you their experience, and while they're telling you their life experience, a thought comes into your mind, you can relate, You have a story to share too. Begin at that point and start writing. Thank you for listening to Anne Emanuel. Ignore the noise and move forward. If you enjoyed my story, check out anneemanuel.com. Download the writing tips or sign up for new stories. Feel free to comment on this podcast. You can also follow or connect on social media. Thank you.